Hello everyone. Welcome to Baobao Chinese classes. Today we are going through chapter 17 and chapter 18. First, let us have a look at the grammar capsule. Let me first share a screen with you. So this is a PPT which encompasses grammar and new words and vocabularies of 17 and 18 chapter, which I think would be a little challenging for people. Let us first begin this chapter, this capsule, by revising counting. Here, I want you to revise 1 to 12, since it will be used in telling months and days of weeks. So let's start with the revision first. E1 is known as E, 2 is known as 3 is 3, 4 is 4, 5 is 5, 6 is 6, 7 is 7, 8 is 8, 9 is 2, 10 is 10. So 10 is 10, 11 is 11, 12 is 12. So first let us have a look at the days of week. In English, we're bound to learn it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I remember that when I used to learn, I used to forget. And who comes after what? That was another challenge to remember. But in Chinese, it is relatively easier because it is denoted by a word, 星期, and then you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to it to make it the days. So you have a word, 星期, 星期. It is known as 星期. So 星期一 is Monday. Tuesday becomes 星期 plus your 2. Okay? 2 is 2, right? So Tuesday becomes 星期二. Wednesday is 星期三. So you have 3 added to 星期, right? 星期三. Thursday similarly becomes 星期四. Friday becomes 星期五. Saturday becomes 星期六. However, Sunday, it is not 星期七. There is nothing called 星期七. You have to remember this, memorize it. It is 星期天, or it is also known as 星期日. Here, the character 日. This character means sun. Okay? Another way or another form of saying the weekdays, days of the week is you have the character 周, and then you keep on adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like you did with 星期. Okay? So Monday becomes 周一, Tuesday is 周二, Wednesday is 周三, Thursday is 周四, Friday is 周五, Saturday is 周六, Sunday is 周日. It is not 周七. Remember that. Okay? Another word that you can use in place of 星期 or 周 is 礼拜. But this is a casual form. The standard form is 星期. Okay? The standard form is 星期. Okay? The standard form is 星期. And this 周. 周 is a formal format. Okay? It is found in newspapers, in Chinese newspapers. You will find this. 周一, 周二, 周三. We hardly find 星期一, 星期二. Okay? Then let us come to the months. Months is also comparatively easier to remember in Chinese. You don't have a long list: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. First you memorize that, then you make spelling mistakes in your English, and then it becomes so burdensome. In Chinese, it is comparatively easier. You have a word called yue. Okay, this yue stands for month. It also stands for the moon. The moon, that round moon that you see in the sky, that is the moon, right? Yue. So this yue is also month. Okay, January becomes yi yue. February becomes yue. March becomes san yue. April becomes si yue. May is wu yue. June is liu yue. July is qi yue. August is pa yue. September is chu yue. October is shi yue. November becomes shi yi yue. And December is shi yue. So one thing that you need to remember over here is, although it is easy when you are saying yi yue, yue, san yue, si yue, wu yue, liu yue, qi yue, pa yue, chu yue, shi yue, shi yue, shi yue, and you know the months, right? But if someone asks you what is July, then you all of a sudden you become very much confused. Okay, what is that? Qi yue. Okay, so for your benefit, try to remember this, right? Do in this way, that January is yi yue. So you try to remember that in this way. Okay. Now let's move on to years. Year is denoted by this character. This character is pronounced as nian. Okay. For example, the year 2000. Okay. You don't say 2000 Erqian as in Chinese. Okay. There you will say like this. Ling, 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 and then you will add a nian to it because nian stands for year. Okay. Similarly, for 1998, you will not say shi qiu and then qiu shi pa nian. No, that is not the way. You'll say yi qiu qiu pa nian. Okay. For 1789, you will say yi qi pa qiu nian. For 2003, you'll say ling ling san nian. 2017 would be ling yi qi nian. Okay. Here yi and qi, they can be like, you can mishear them. So Chinese, in order to avoid this, tell ling yao qi nian. It doesn't necessarily need to be read as yao, but if you read it as yao, you can avoid the mistake of confusing yi and qi. Okay. Then we have ling san nian. Okay. This is 2023. Then 2022 would be read as ling nian. While reading the years or while writing years, you should always remember that although you don't say the year 2000, okay, you just only write 2000, but for Chinese, you have to put a nian after ling nian. That nian has to be there. Okay. So for 1998, you must remember to put a nian after yi qiu qiu pa. Don't leave it at yi qiu qiu pa. Always write or read as yi qiu qiu pa nian. Okay. Now that we know how to say years, months, and days, now let us see how we have to read the dates. Okay. Date in Chinese is known as ruch. Okay. So to read the date, like from 1 to 31, we have in January, right? In February, we have 1 to 28, except for the leap year when we have 29. Okay. These are accompanied by the word ru. Okay. And in colloquial, it is also known as how. Okay. So there is a order in which it is read. In English, if we say 30th December 2021, we won't go by the same format in Chinese. In Chinese, it would be reversed. First, you will say 2021年12月30日. Okay? So first comes the year, then you have the month, and then you have the day. So this is the order in Chinese. So let us have a look at a few examples. So 6 June 1990 will become 1990年6月6日. 5th August 2025 would become 2005年8月5日. 20th February 1988 will become 1988年2月28日. 19th May 1976 would become 1976年5月19日. So, and when you want to add a time to it, then how will you say that? For example, you will have to say first the date and then the time. Okay, it won't be the time first and then date. Okay, so if you have to say 19th May 1976 and you have to say supposedly 6 p.m. then you have to say 1976年5月19日下午6点. Okay? As to regards, when you use 上午, 下午, 中午, and 晚上, I'll make a separate video stating the time period. Okay? So now let's come to the next part. So here, generally we always have a measure word. If you have to say 1 year, we say 一年. We never say 一个年. Even for day in Chinese, we say 一天. We never say 一个天. Okay? Why is it so? Now it is so because 年 and 天 are nouns which have the characteristics of measure words. So they itself have that property or have that characteristic. So you don't need to say 一个年 or 一个天. You can say 一年 or you can also say 一天. 比如说, for example, you say 一天内有24个小时. That means one day has 24 hours. Or maybe you can say 一年有365日. Okay? 一年有365天. So, what am I saying over here? I'm saying that there are 365 days in 1 year. Okay? So, although there is an exception known as leap year, in which you have 366 days, like you have 366天. Okay? So, now let us come to double object verbs. Now, what are double object verbs? These are those verbs which take two objects. In Chinese, we have a few of them. Okay? It is not that every verb is a double object verb. There are only a few verbs which are double object verbs. Okay? One is chiao. Chiao means to teach. Kei means to give. Tie is to lend. This character is huan. Okay? It is not hai. Remember that. Huan means to return. Wen, it means to question. Sung means to gift. Okay? So let us come to the sentences. The first sentence is 王老师教他们汉语. Okay? So Wang Laoshi is the subject, Jiao is the verb, and Carmen is one object, the first object, and the second object is honey. So if you see Carmen, it is alive, right? It is animate. So it is known as the indirect object. And honey, it is the direct object. It is the direct object as it doesn't have life. Okay? Similarly, for K. K means to give, right? Ha is the subject over here. K is the verb. Wo is the first indirect object. And yi chang tianing piao, that is a movie ticket. Movie ticket, that becomes the inanimate object or the direct object. In the third sentence, we have 他不回钱你钱的. Okay? Here, 他 is your subject. Here, 借 is the main verb, which means to lend. And ni is one of the object, the indirect object. And qian is the direct object or inanimate object. So, this is the proper order of the sentence. Remember, it is a subject, then it is the verb, then you have the indirect object, and then the direct object. Okay? Don't confuse it. Don't make the form is not like this. It is not subject, verb, inanimate object, and then animate object. The first, it has to be the animate object or the indirect object, and then the direct object or inanimate object. Remember, the first will come the object which has life. Okay, that will help you in remembering. Okay, see, 我问他一个问题. Okay, so here 我 is the subject, 问 is the verb, 他 is the indirect object, and 一个问题, that becomes the inanimate object or the direct object. Similarly, the next is 我送他一个礼物, means I gave him a gift. Okay, 他 wo is the subject, sung is the verb, which means to give, 他 is him, and 一个礼物 is gift. So here, 他 is the indirect object, and 一个礼物 is the inanimate object. I hope you can make your own sentences with this without making the word order wrong. It is, the correct word order is subject, then verb, then you have the indirect object, and then the direct object. Okay? So, now let us read how to say or tell time. Okay? So, let us share a picture of the clock. So, this is a clock. There are 12 numbers written on it. From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So, this small hand is known as the hour hand. This longer one, but compared to the minute hand, it is a little thick. This is your minute hand. And this is the second hand. This, the smallest one. Okay. So first, let us have a look at how to say o'clock. Okay. Tien is the word. Okay. Tien. Tien. So if it is one, let's start with the picture. Okay. Let's have first. It is 12 o'clock, right? 12 o'clock will be known as 12 okay, means 12 o'clock. Similarly, if you have 1 o'clock, it is 1 2 o'clock, it will be 2 3 o'clock, it will be 3 4 o'clock, 4 5 o'clock would be 5 6 will be for 6 o'clock. For 7 o'clock, it is 7 tian. 8 o'clock will be known as 8 tian. 2 tian is for 9 o'clock. For 10 o'clock, it is known as 10 tian. For 11 o'clock, it is known as 11 tian. Okay? So I hope you know now how to say tian, how to measure the time, how to tell time, at least 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Now, if I randomly ask you what is 5 o'clock, you should be able to tell it is 5 tian. Okay? So next, we have another slide in which if you see the picture, it shows 5:30. Okay? So 5:30 is 5 o'clock plus half an hour. Okay? That makes you it 5:30, right? So how will you say that? 5:30 is equal to 5 o'clock plus half an hour. Half in Chinese is known as pan. Okay? So how will you say 5:30? It will be 5 tian pan. Okay? 5 o'clock is 5 tian. 5:30 is 5 o'clock plus half an hour. So it is 5 tian pan. Similarly, if you have 4:30, it will be known as 4 tian pan. 6:30 will be known as 6 tian pan. 11:30 will be 7 tian pan. So here I have written it wrong. It was 2 or let's change it. Okay. So 11:30 becomes 7 tian pan. 7 tian pan. 7:30 becomes 7 tian pan. 7 tian pan is 9:30. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. What will be 3:30? 3:30 is 3 o'clock plus half an hour. 3 tian pan. So this is a way to remember how to say 5:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, and so on. Okay. So now let us have a look at the next slide. Okay. In the slide, what we'll learn is the usage of fun. Okay. This fun, if you remember in the previous chapter, we had read about money. We had read about money. The monetary unit, the smallest monetary unit is known as fun. Okay. We use the same fun for minutes also. Okay. So if you want to say 20 minutes, it will be sure or fun. Okay. So here I have kept this 1 o'clock as constant in all the timings, and I have changed only the minutes part. So let's have a look at the first one. Okay. First one is 1:12. So 12 is known as 十二, right? So 1:12 becomes 一点十二分. Okay. This chung is silent. You can just omit it. Okay. 1:15 becomes 一点十五分. Okay. 1:30 becomes 一点三十分. Okay. 1:37 becomes 一点三十七分. 1:40 becomes 一点四十分. So now I hope you get why it is known as 一点四十分. So 一点 is 1 o'clock. 四十分 is 40 minutes. So it is 一点四十分. So let's now ask the viewers, what is 1:58? Okay. So 1 o'clock is 一点 and 58 minutes, right? 58 is 58, right? So 58 minutes is 58分. So 1:58 becomes 一点58分. 1:45 becomes 一点45分. Okay? So let us come to more examples. In the previous slide, I had kept the R as constant. It was 一点, right? Here I have changed the R portion also. It is just to test you, gradually go deep into the matter. Okay. So how will you say 7:39? This is the first one. Okay. It is 7:39 means 7 o'clock, and add to it 39 minutes. Okay, so it becomes 7:39. Okay, 5:48 becomes 5:48. 10:23 becomes 10:23. 8:32 is 8:32. 9:46 becomes 9:46. 11:36. Do it on your own. So 11 o'clock plus 36 minutes. 11 o'clock is 11:10. And after that, what will you have to say? 36 minutes. How will you say that? 36. So 11:36 becomes 11:36. Okay? 3:31 is 3:31. I hope by this time you can do write minutes in the time in this way. Okay? Let's come to the next slide. Here we'll use the use of ke. Ke means quarter, and 1 quarter is equal to 15 minutes. Okay, in the world of time. So when see this picture, it shows 9:15, right? So you can say it that it is 9:15. But there is a way to say without using that 15 and using ke. Okay, you can say 9:01 because 1 is equal to 15 minutes. Similarly, if you have 3:00, it will mean 45 minutes. So 9:45 in that similar way will be known as 9:03. Let's look at various examples related to 15 then. Okay, 11:15 will be known as 11:01. 7:15 will be known as 7:01. 3:15 will be known as 3:01. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. It is the also a usage of ke. As I said, look at the clock. It shows 9:45. So this 9:45 is known as 9:03. As I already said, 1 is equal to 15 minutes. Okay, so 45 minutes will be equal to 3:00. So that is why 45 is 3:00. 4:45 will become 4:03. 3:45 will become 3:03. 6:45 will become 6:03. Okay? Besides these two ways of using fun and ke, we have another phrase, another word which is known as cha. This cha can also be used to determine time or tell time. So cha means to be short of. So let us see an example. See the clock. It shows how much it shows. It shows 2:55, right? 2:55. There is another way of saying 2:55. That means there is 5 minutes left to become 3, right? 5 minutes to 3. So here we'll use cha, means to short off. Then often is 5 minutes, and it is short of what? 3, right? Not 2. So make sure you write santian over here, not 2, not liangtian or ertian. Okay? Just remember that. Cha, often, santian. Okay? You can also reverse this order. You can first say santian and then cha often. Means 3 बजने में अभी भी 5 मिनट बाकी है. Okay? बाकी है. For that you are using that cha. So 3 बजने में santian, santian. बाकी है cha. कितना बाकी है? 5 मिनट. Often. Okay? Maybe you can try the next one on your own. So it is 8:57. Okay? So what does it mean? There are 3 3 minutes left to be 8. No, there are 3 minutes left to be 9. Okay, so it will be cha san fen chiu tian. Okay, cha san fen chiu tian. So chiu tian, cha san fen is also another way of saying. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. It says 7:56. So how many minutes it's falling short to be 8? It's 4 minutes, right? So you have a cha, then you have su, means 4. This won't be tian, it would be fun. I hope you know why it will be fun. Because it is minutes, it's not tian, okay? So I hope you can catch this mistake. If you can, then you have already learned. Okay? Cha, su, fun. 4 minutes left for becoming 8. So cha, su, fun, ba tian. Another way to say is ba tian, cha, su, fun. Okay? 8 बजने में अभी भी 4 मिनट बाकी. So that is the use of cha. Okay? In the next slide, we have tried to sum up all the ways in which a particular time can be set. Okay? Just see. 1. How will you say 1 o'clock? You'll say 一点. Okay? 1:30. You can say it as 一点三十分, means 1:30. Or you can also say 一点半. Okay? 1 o'clock plus 30 minutes. Okay? Or 1 o'clock plus half an hour, means 一点半. Okay? For 1:15, you can say 一点一刻. As you know, 15 minutes is 15分. You can also say 一点15分. Okay? Or 15 minutes also is 一刻. Okay? A quarter. So you can say 一点一刻. Okay? Now, how can you say 1:45? So, you can say 一点45分. Okay? 1 p.m. plus 45 minutes. 一点45分. Okay? Or you can also use this part. 一点三刻 means 45 minutes equal to 3 quarters, right? So you can also say 一点三刻. And you can also say as 差15分2点. Okay? It is falling 15 minutes short of 2, right? So you can say 差15分2点. You can also say 差一刻2点 because it is falling 15 minutes short of 2. So you can say that it is falling short 1 quarter to 2. So 差一刻2点. I hope now you can tell any time on your own. So see you in your next video. See you in the next video where I'll be explaining the chapters, the substitution drills and the text. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.